Hello, it's Deanne Munoz, and welcome back to another Sacred Soul Talk, where our goal and our mission is to touch and inspire you from depression to a demigod, from lack to abundance. Today, I have a very special guest, but before I introduce this beautiful face, we're going to start off with some grounding and some prayer so that we can protect our moment together, our time, and we can anchor in our ancestors and spirit team to come on in. Okay?
Yes,
If everyone can close their eyes, whatever you want to do. All right. First of all, let's take a deep breath in through your nose. Big, 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 out through your mouth. And just drop into your body. Dear Heavenly Father, dear Creator, we come to you in a sacred ceremony, and we ask that every single person that is on YouTube watching this video at this moment in time, every person that is listening on the Sacred Soul Talk audio, that each of their ancestors, that each of their 10.0 version, their highest selves, will come into this conversation, that Tiffany and I can deliver medicine that they need to hear right now at this moment when they're encountering this video. We are here to serve. We are here to enlighten and to love. We surround this beautiful home, this energy, and our bodies. We send in guardian angels above us, below us, to the left to us, to the right, in front of us and behind us, that we are protected from any unwanted entities, any demonic forces, any spiritual attacks that might come into to pull the magic away. We are now highly protected, we are guided, and every word that flows out of our mind is divinely orchestrated as medicine to the soul. Thank you for allowing Tiffany this journey and allowing her magic and her throat chakra being so open that she's able to share her honesty and her magic and her wisdom with the world. I am honored to have her here today. Woo! Woo! We're going to say amen and amen. All right. Ooh, I have not had such big chills. Ooh. Okay, my loves, today's guest, she isn't just a healer, she's a womb whisperer, brrr, a sacred seductress of the somatic, and a priestess of pelvic power. She doesn't just touch bodies, she unlocks them. She doesn't just speak true, she bleeds it. And if you're brave enough to listen, she just might reawaken the parts of you that patriarchy told you to shame, silence, and sever. She's here to remind you that your body is holy, that your cervix is a channel, that your pussy is not a punchline, but a portal to God. So, ladies and gentlemen, light your incense, open your heart, and prepare your nervous system, because this conversation is not safe. It's sacred. Welcome to the mic, the midwife of womb reclamation herself, Tiffany, womb healing in the house. Okay. Welcome, Tiffany. Introduce yourself to everybody out there.
Thank you. Such a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
Yes. So, well, that's such a gorgeous, beautiful introduction. I'm just so turned on and titillated to receive that, feeling so seen in my magic and medicine. And yeah, it's such a joy to get to be here and speak and share about the truth and the wisdom of womb healing work, hands-on somatic work, genital de-armoring, and yeah, lots of really deep, powerful work. Um, yeah, just kind
Okay.
of.
So when did this start? How did you get here and when did it start?
Yes, beautiful. So, I mean, I feel as though with this work, I mean, it for most people, I think, who walk this path of serving others, it's very like, destined, sort of a divine sort of purpose. There's, what I've observed is so many women who have such a deep need and longing for connection, for love, for intimacy, for, connection to their power and themselves. My path started with massage therapy when I was 17 years old, and I've been doing it for about 14 years now. And somewhere halfway along the journey, I started feeling the threads and the pulls to become a birth worker, to work with the pelvis, and really just was initiated into this high priestess work, tantrika work, and being a midwife for women as they're stepping more into their power and really seeking to reconnect with maybe the lost and abandoned parts of their bodies and their heart and soul's journey, and connecting with the wisdom of the fertility of their dreams and their desires, and the opening of the cervix and all the things.
Everything you say just sounds magical. Like I love when I follow her on Instagram, and you guys should too. Her Instagram handle is going to be placed here right now. I love following you because your vocabulary is so like eloquent. I don't have a super fancy vocabulary, but everything you write is like poetically perfect. Like I'll be like, what's that one word? Like for me, it's like I have to like go through a channel of like a dictionary of words. And I just read everything you write and I'm just like, it's real magic to be able to communicate through your throat chakra. Like I know what I want to say, but I can't, it never comes out the way you write it. And when you write it all the time, I'm like, screenshot, repost, screenshot. I'm like, yeah, what she said.
Yeah, I mean, you're so eloquent and beautiful, and so amazing with your words as well. I love your
Thank you.
inspiring, motivational, just speaking from your lived experience.
Yes.
So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
feeling you there.
Okay, so we have some questions. So I usually just flow, but this is stuff that I want to learn it. So I have
Yes.
questions. So we're going to make this intellectual and then we'll go into like the flow part of this.
Perfect.
Okay, so let's just dive straight into the sacred. What exactly is womb work? And why do you believe it's the missing link for so many women's healing and empowerment?
Yes, that's a beautiful question.
Ooh, put the mic closer.
Mic closer.
Yeah, I was like,
Come here.
come here, come hither.
Come hither. So, womb healing work and it being the missing link for so many women, and why I feel it's so vital and important. If there's anything in the world that I feel just so called to do, it's really this one. And I feel like journeying into the path of doing womb healing work it's not an easy journey. I'm sure you can relate on some, other similar wavelength. It's deeply, suppressed. I think there's a lot of systems in place that kind of disconnect us from our bodies. There's a lot of lies that we're told, through a lot of our cultural upbringing and even just the birth and the medical system. And it's very complex to navigate through the world as a woman, and an embodied, sensual, powerful woman who's connected to her voice through her womb and doesn't speak, necessarily from the head or from people pleasing, but from the root truth, which is not always convenient,
Right.
but is, so deep and so powerful. So I feel like it's the missing link because majority of us are lacking any amount of sex education throughout our, adolescence and our adult, even people in their 60s and 70s are still trying to figure things out pretty much. The sex education piece is it's like one domain is how do we relate and have deeply satisfying and satiating, intimate connections. Satiation is really the magic. I feel like that's like the deep exploration that I feel like I'm doing with women, because you can receive touch, you can receive body work, you can have, intimacy, but to really be deeply satiated, you have to know, one, have access to being able to feel your body. And then from there, you have to be able to attune to what it is that you want. So being able to identify your needs. And from there, being able to actually vocalize that and continue to vocalize it and refine it, whether something is not what you want, not the way you want to be touched or related to, or something's good, but there's a way to make it even better. And typically the journey begins with our own hands on our own body. That's really my belief, is also guiding women to not necessarily always outsource their pleasure and their desire and their support, and to be able to
their partner.
Yeah, to their partner, to the doctor.
But to seek it themselves.
Yeah, to embody and access that themselves, and then have these systems in place that amplify something that is already alive and abundant inside of them.
Right.
Something along those lines.
I just with that alone, I feel like a lot of times, because I've also dated women as well. I find do we know the statistics? I'll look it up too. What's the statistics on how many women actually have pleasure? Like how many actually orgasm? Because I know when a conversation comes up, when I tell people, oh yeah, I've done porn, everyone, regular women, wherever I'm at, everybody's like, oh, the subject comes up. But the number one subject that comes up is women that say they never have orgasm. And, it's in the porn industry, or like in my personal life with women, or, threesomes or orgies or thing. I find women never are there to please the man. There's never a pleasure received.
Right.
And I'm always like, what do you mean you've never had an orgasm? Like, I can't comprehend that, because I'm going to lead him to make sure I'm just thinking I want to be pleasured.
Yeah.
So the conversation though with so many women is they're like, I've never had an orgasm. And I'm like, you've never touched yourself? And they're like, no. And I'm like, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I think that it maybe is like an upper ceiling, like a limit to how good it can get sometimes, maybe for women. I think there's a statistic that says, it's like, somewhere along the lines of, sex for most, and this is like heterosexual couples, the thing, but, essentially it's like sex is anywhere in the 7 to 8 minute range. Like that's how long it's lasting. 7 to 8 minutes is kind of like how long sex is lasting. And for real though, this is from start to finish to ejaculation with the man. And it takes a woman.
Jesus, 6 to 8 minutes is sad.
It's wild.
I can't even imagine that what's this. It's like a job. It's not, it almost seems like a chore.
Yeah.
Versus an hour of true pleasure and just.
Yeah. An exploration.
Yeah. I can't even. 7 minutes. Okay, here. Touch my titty. Orgasm. Boom. Off me.
Yeah.
Thanks. Let's go shower.
Yeah.
None of this makes sense.
And for women, it takes them anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes just to reach full engorgement of their arousal
I didn't
tissues.
know that. Okay, say it again. 12.
So it takes anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes for a woman, for someone with female physiology, to actually fully engorge in her arousal tissue. And so if we're having sex and the male is coming to a climax and it's ending in 7 minutes, she hasn't gotten anywhere even close. So the potential of what's missed out on is...
Take notes, motherfuckers. You 3 minute men. Hit the road, Jack. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Okay, this is alarming, men. This is very alarming right now. The statistics is 7 to 8 minutes for men to get pleasure, and we
5
just learned 14 minutes to 15 to 40 minutes.
20 minutes to 40 minutes.
20 minutes to 40 minutes for
Just
a woman, just for her tissue, if you know what we were talking about, to get to full arousal. Wow.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, just the anatomy of the female pelvis and the male pelvis, they're so different. Men can just, the way their blood and vascular system works, they can just get hard and aroused and erect real quick. And for women, our anatomy is more intricate, and there's also more layers to it, like emotional and safety and the actual physical of just all the different layers of the anatomy. And so it's a worthy exploration to, journey into the pelvis. And, one of the reasons why, aside from just getting to have better sex, that I'm an advocate for this is just, the healthier and the more vibrant and supple and juicy your pelvis is. It just feels nice to think.
Okay, and how does this correlate to womb healing? What would you give the definition to somebody who's never heard of it, and it's just like, what is this? Like, let's get that, like, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. I would say womb healing. I mean, there's many approaches to it. A lot of it is, it's an overarching umbrella, but womb healing, I would say, is building a deeper connection and relationship with your womb. And the ways that you would go about that would include having a self-touch practice. Maybe you're receiving from a practitioner like me who does hands-on and hands-in body work. So I typically guide women through a process of, we do full body massage, lots of belly work, and potentially some breast and throat, jaw work, and then do, work through the vulva. And so there's a hands-on approach to it. There's like an herbal medicine approach, doing things like Yoni steaming, also like castor oil packs and attuning to your desires. You can zoom out depending on what the woman needs, but my approach to womb healing is often hands-on, because I think it's beautiful to, meditate and have goddess circles and things of that sort. But until we put our own hands on our own pussy and feel what's there, you're not going to get anywhere. You can't visualize, meditate your way into having good, a healthy menstrual cycle or, tending to the, your tissues. So there is a bit of a, I don't know, chop wood, carry water. Like, you really just got to go down and, be with yourself on some level. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Long answer, but.
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Okay. You speak about the cervix and pelvic bowel holding our wisdom and creative potential. Can you explain what that really means for women who've never heard of that before?
The conversation's always so deep around this word.
I love it. No, but I love it though, because womb healing is so much. It could be confusing to just a regular woman online being like, what does that mean? She'll skip over it.
Yeah.
So it's like introducing them to like the magic of it.
Yeah, 100%. So cervical work, what was the second part of the question?
You speak about the cervix and pelvic bowel. Why do I keep saying bowel? What the fuck? Maybe I gotta go to the bathroom. So what's that called? Freudian slip? Freudian slip. But it holding our wisdom and creative potential. Can you explain what that means to someone that has never heard of this before?
Yeah.
That their cervix holds their wisdom and creative potential.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Okay, great. So your cervix essentially is, so you have your uterus, and your uterus comes down, and then you have your cervix, which is like a little which is just like a little round circular space. And if you go internally, you can palpate your cervix. When you're
What does that word mean?
your cervix is it's an anatomical location. So it's your cervix is essentially where your blood comes out of when you're bleeding. Your cervix is also will open during birth. So
Okay.
the cervix is it's closed when you're in pregnancy and holding, and then when your water breaks, that opens up there, and then the baby passes through the cervix, through the vaginal canal,
Okay.
and out into
Yeah,
the world.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. We had a ding, ding, ding moment. This is where we put like a little photo in my head of the baby popping out. But it's you're birthing something new. Potential,
Yes.
right? Creative potential.
Creative potential, and it's in a lot of ways the sacred gate and the temple, to both to the deeper parts of our womb, of our inner self, but also what we birth and bring into the world. And so being mindful of mindfulness around that. The cervix is a sacred space that some people, we give birth to children, but we also give birth through each cycle and
Through ideas, dreams,
cervical fluid coming out. They call it our amrita. It's like our
Amrita.
amrita.
I've never heard that term. Ooh.
It's Sanskrit or Hindu. It's like the female ejaculate.
Oh, I love this. Okay, let's see what's next. Can you go? How does trauma show up in the womb space? And how do we even begin to recognize it when we've been numb to it our whole lives? So how does trauma show up in the womb space? Because I know I've heard that my whole life, and through trainings and retreats I've got through, everything is, I don't know if men do too, is it, or just women hold trauma in their sacral area? Or is that men and women?
It's definitely men and women. I think more so women, because we process so much of our emotions and our sense of, our safety, where we're birthing life and ideas. It's at a root level. So, I'm thinking of your question again.
How does trauma show up in the womb space?
Yeah.
So what are some like symptoms, or like how do we know someone would have trauma there?
Yeah. So I mean, trauma in the womb space can look many ways, but oftentimes it could feel like, like a really deep disconnection from, some people literally don't really connect with the lower half of their body.
Yes.
And, their pelvis. And so it feels kind of separate. There's your head and where you're at up here, and then there's kind of down there. And some of that's also programming that we're raised with, of like, don't touch, don't look, don't speak about.
Religion,
Shame.
Yes. I feel like, especially Catholicism.
Oh, yeah.
Catholicism, every woman I know in Catholicism is like, I can't get pleasure from sex. I'm here to procreate.
Right.
And they never masturbate. They're taught, don't do that. Girls don't do that. Girls don't touch themselves.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel it's a brainwashing.
Huge brainwashing. And it has such when you're in that headspace and you relate to your body from that place, it literally affects the functioning of your body.
Yeah.
And it creates a really big disconnect. Other things would be that your menstrual cycle is imbalanced. You have painful bleeds or excessive, bleeding. Some other things would be, there's so many different kinds of like pelvic imbalances and painful sex, numbness, like you can't feel certain things. Maybe you dissociate during, intimate experiences.
Ooh.
Like just leaving your body or escaping to your head. That typically, when you escape to your head, it's a sign that maybe there's something, it could be like a past, violation. It could be boundary things from when you were, a child or an adult. It could be maybe just being shamed around your menstrual cycle when your menstrual cycle came when you were like a teen.
Right.
And yeah, there's a lot of different ways it can show up. But yeah, the wisdom is in there, and it often can be very challenging for a lot of people to feel the
Release.
courage to go there, really.
Ah, I know when I do my motivational videos, I try to bring dancing in every morning to be like, let loose, play, live a little. And I always say that joke to ladies. And I'm like, and to all you vanilla, stuck up ladies, I'm like, pull the stick out of the ass.
Yeah, literally.
Breathe.
Yeah, shake some ass.
So that's what I was, so like, that's where my head went visually when you said when women disconnect from their sacral chakra, right? This is your magic, your juju, and they're in their head. And I feel like they're just walking like,
Yes.
you're just like, stop thinking, bitch. Stop
Yes.
thinking, dance, breathe, release. But I like that you said that because I'm always speaking like when, anytime, I'm sure you trigger women as well. They're like,
All
why
day.
are you dancing? And I'm like, bitch, you need a fucking orgasm. Tell your man to lick your fucking pussy. Get the fuck off my page.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that serious. And it's medicine, though. It's medicine. Like, anything that I've learned is that triggers us is medicine. And these are the women who truly want
Yeah.
your magic. Like, I love your page. Every time it's some people's pages I just scroll through.
Mute.
And we're talking, like I was saying, there's just some coaches or real estate agents. I'm like, boring, boring, boring. But you're like, every time you're on, I'm like, ooh, repeat, repeat. Oh, again. But you are just magic. Your energy is magic. Your essence is magic. Ladies, so womb healing, seeing her, feeling her, like there's this glow, there's this play, there's this aliveness about her. Like she invokes sensuality. Like just being in your presence, like it's our energy goes out 6 feet. You're very intoxicating. Like to me, like when I think woman, like desire, like your man has to be like, holy fuck, like she's just on, like dripping with honey all day long. Like ladies, that's, we have 90% of ladies out there who are just taught to be vanilla, be serious, act right. And we really need you to pull the fucking stick out of your asshole and step into what God has truly called you to. Because God, let's talk Christianity, because these people love to go on my pages. Let's talk Christianity. The Bible says when you have a wife, like you should be a dirty little whore for your man. Nowhere does it say, oh, it's time to, I'm married now, so I'm just got to be vanilla. I remember one church I went to one time, he was saying that. He was like a young pastor and he was good looking with his wife. He's like, I don't know where you guys heard. He's like, or where your mom and dad said, now that you're married, like your wife can't be a whore. He was talking
You're like,
about that.
That makes sense.
No, literally. And he goes, ladies, he's like, your man's with you forever. Like forever you are married. Like you go do like, embody this being of like a goddess and enjoy yourself. Like you're allowed to.
Unleash her.
Yes.
Yeah.
And mental health, I feel too. Mental health, the women, right, that are operating from up here and they're like, cut off.
Yeah.
Like taboo, not going down here.
Yeah.
And I believe a lot of women with mental health issues are women who are cut off from their magic and their juju. And when I say that, that's womb. So whenever I say my magic or juju, it comes from the sacral chakra. That's where she was talking about creativity. And that's where the power comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so many mental health disorders, autoimmune disorders, so many things that are rampant in women's health.
Yes.
Even just disempowered births would not exist if women were so deep in their pelvis and their pussy, deep in their sex, and so full and satiated in their sensuality. And the truth is that, the man you choose definitely matters because he's going to amplify whatever is in him. So if he's chaotic and disconnected and toxic, you're going to get a woman's only going to amplify that. And if he's, a man of God and he's in his alignment and his power, she's going to amplify that. But at the end of the day, it's really not your man who, will make you feel sexy. Of course, he should make you feel sexy, and that's a part of it. And that's, a beautiful desire to have. But the sex appeal and the sexiness is something that only you can choose as a woman. And you choose that no matter what relationship you're in, no matter what chapter you're in, no matter how dark it is. Like, you choose yourself, you choose your beauty, you do your adornment practices, you sit with your womb, you feel your emotions, and continuing to come back to that and really feed your radiance will, it'll take you everywhere.
Jesus. I just want a second to stare at you. You guys have to be here, but she's like butter. Like just butter, like butter on my bread. Everybody loves butter. Like butter's just like on the bread. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so how trauma shows up in the womb. How do we even be able to recognize it? Okay, ladies. So here's some ways you could recognize trauma, right? If you're always in your head.
Yeah.
Right? You're disconnected, not wanting to have sex with your man, not being playful, right? You're not funny. It's like, I feel like your sense of humor comes from your vagina.
Yeah.
And there's so many women that aren't funny.
Yeah.
No,
you can tell when someone's not well fucked, by themselves or their man.
Ooh, say it again.
You can tell when someone is not well fucked.
Okay, say it again.
You can tell when someone is not well fucked.
Okay, my turn. You can tell when a woman is not well fucked, ladies. There's magic that comes from our womb. Yeah. The playfulness, the light, the embodiment, the humor, the playfulness.
The audacity.
Again, go.
The audacity. Really, like a daring, bold woman. She's fearless because through her sex and through the full, like, she feels both the sweetness and the goddess, priestess, all that, but she feels the dark feminine too. And she's not afraid of it. She knows the power of it. She will wield it. And
wield it, baby. Wield it.
Wield it. And she'll put it out there. She'll be audacious. She'll destroy and whatever needs to be destroyed for the rebirth of what's true, and is not afraid to,
audacity.
The audacity,
like the audacity for me to just move to Dubai.
Yeah, like right? I'm like that's why I love you, because
audacity.
Yeah,
I have a lot of it.
My favorite women.
I have a lot of it.
Oh, she just said that and she meant it, and I loved it.
Okay, ladies. Signs that you're cut off from your magic, from your Jupiter pelvic. You're in your head too much. You're too serious. You have no audacity. People pleasing, playing small, worried about what others think, not speaking up. All of these are blocked, and you need womb healing.
Period.
Basically, that's what we're getting to, okay? Okay, so uncomfortable truths, right? To set some of you people free. So you talk about armor in the body, and this I actually speak about in my coaching with the women. Because when we jump on our calls on Saturday, the first thing I do is I ground us, I pray, and then I do like an energetic cleansing for everybody. But there with the women, I automatically say, okay, whatever happened before this phone call, let it go. Whatever happened this week, this month, like so my prayers are from last Saturday to this Saturday. But in it, I always tell them, okay, for the next week moving forward, I want you to pull off the bulletproof armor around your chest and your heart. Remove it. Get your hands. I want you to pull it off of your heart. I want your heart to beat bigger and louder, and pull it off your neck so you can speak. I'll be like, pull off the armor off your head so you can like listen to God, so you can be seen. People can see you. I'm like, on your feet, what's been weighing you down, pull off that armor that's heavy. So the fact that you use that about armor in the body And a lot of times it's something that's trauma. I'm like, what happened before this call that closed you up and that you're like, ugh, or last week or last month or, you know, whatever caused you, who told you you can't fucking speak up? Who told you you're stupid? Who told you you're too much? Like that's armor. So like on our calls, I always ask the women, pull off the armor that you put back on this week from our last call. Because they always do, like you always pull, you guys be putting it back on during the week. Yeah, I always have that. I'm like, you keep putting it back on, honey. And so I love that you talked about that. What is armor to you?
I mean, armor to me, essentially is our body's protective mechanism. So it's the way that we're, trying to create safety and security for ourselves. A lot of the armor that many of us walk with and carry was some of the research I've done is that it's developed between ages from when we're born to when we're 7 years old, which is really
shit.
Yeah, and it's locked in. It's on the root chakra level, which is again why some of this pelvic root healing work is all related to our safety, our survival. Having a home, having food, feeling safe in our environment, safe with the people that we're around. And, it can be, obviously as extreme as, full on violations on different levels, but it can also be, not feeling safe in your home environment or not really being attuned to like needing attention from your caregiver, but they're always busy and working. So that creates a bit of armor, around the heart or the jaw or, in the feet. And let's open that up real quick.
I did. I was grinding right now. Tiffany, you said that. I said, oh. But that's interesting because when you went to childhood, I have abuse. Yeah. So instantly I went, and then you said jaw, and I said, oh.
Yeah. So much of it's so subconscious, so unconscious, and even those childhood wounds. So that's a bit of how it can be developed early on, but then it can just continue, and we attract different relationships, and sometimes it kind of amplifies the wounds because ultimately our body's looking to heal it and create resolution, but we have to have enough awareness in our consciousness and presence because, wounds only want to leave and to go when we can really see it and love it in its entirety. So that's a bit of how armor develops. And then, then I would say, what was the second part of your question?
It wasn't there yet. I was still on just the first part. Okay. Armor. I love that. I do. I feel armor all the time. So I'm constantly using that in my vocabulary. Okay. So can you break that down, which you did?
There was one more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that with the armor, a part of de-armoring, that word with the body, de-armoring is really a process of creating, helping invite the body into safety. And when the body feels safe, the body has the ability to feel pleasure. So it's very difficult for us to feel pleasure if we don't feel safe. So creating safety for someone's nervous system is really the first step to opening up the pathways for pleasure and to having all kinds of orgasmic experiences from, in the pleasure realm to deep crying and emotional releases to even like anger and moving that kind of charge. So, but safety is the first step. And in a bodywork session, that might look like heated pillows on the heart and on the womb space. It might look like an extra blanket. It might look like something over the eyes, anything to help the person feel containment. And once they feel containment, it's possible for them to open, be able to feel their desires, attune to them, begin to start to ask for them, and receive it to the point of being satiated and having that like really deep body exhale. So there's like a layered process to it.
Oh, wow.
Feels like that touches something deep in you.
Yeah. With that, what popped into my head, so I'm just going to disregard, I'm going to flow right here because I'm going to be disconnected if I go straight into a question again. tears. What is that when a woman is making love with someone and the tears come rolling out?
Yeah.
But tears of ecstasy, not pain.
Yeah. Tears are such a beautiful, deep, deep, deep release of the body, of the womb, of our senses, and it is in its own essence like an orgasmic experience. It's also a sign that she feels safe. Like in order to feel those deep emotions, there's a level of safety that's embodied not only with the partner, but within yourself. Like you feel safe and whole and secure within yourself to allow yourself to move and to emote. Because when you're in that space of crying and feeling joy and moving from laughter to grief, back to laughter, back to pleasure, and just there's a you feel safe enough to really let go of control and allow your body to do whatever it is that your body wants to do. And that's the ultimate place. That's where anything is possible, you know.
When I make love, I cry. And some I never really understood it. Like so when I date somebody or when I'm speaking to somebody, like explaining it, I tell men that I date, I'm like, when I'm intimate, the only time you're ever gonna get a version of me where my walls are down and I'm not in my head, like or in the past, is for me, I show love through love making. Because I it's the only time I don't have walls up, and it's the only time I feel like I can let you in, like I can let you in here in my heart, and just it's not a normal thing I could do like this. It's like there's just a disconnect, PTSD, whatever. I just could be I'm just pretty cold most of the time, but when I'm intimate with somebody, it's one of the few times like everything just drops, and he can literally go into my heart and my soul. And then that moment, there's just I feel loved for the first time. And then you said protected, and I was like, oh, that's what that is. There is a safety for the first time that like I trust this person, and I'm always like I'll just be crying and crying, and I know they get the nerves like, are you okay? And I'm like, it's not a bad cry. And that's why I get excited. I feel safe for the first time. So so as I was asking, like, what does that mean? Because you talked about what tears is. And I've talked to other girls that are like, I've never cried. And I'm thinking, well, you must really have issues. Like, because you're not feeling, I was thinking, you're not feeling what I feel. Like, when I make love, it's just, it's soft. It's beautiful. Like, I'm giving you, and like, I'm crawling into you. You're crawling into me. Like, how do you not want to cry? So, womb healing for women who would want to access that part. Yes.
Big time. Absolutely. Yeah. Womb healing is definitely a huge portal to that. I think the more we can just reconnect it with our womb space and our body, the more deeply we can hear her truth and feel her true essence, like beyond all the masks, beyond all the layers and all the protection. Because you could be, in sex and lovemaking and still never let those walls down. And so it's really profound that you're able to access that, and you're connecting to source, and source and God will it makes sense. Like you should cry when you feel and experience that.
Yes.
And yeah, so I'm curious when you do experience that, do you feel it move through your heart? Do you feel it through your womb? Is it through your whole like toroidal field? Like what is that? Connecting with safety and love, each time for the first time again.
It's sacral, up through the belly, through the chest, and then it goes, and right at the, I literally always say I could take my partner with me into a different dimension, and it just goes quiet. It goes like it's loud, and then it goes. and we're there and just in the silence. And that's it. And then I'll start crying. And then they'll just be with me. And then I'll open my eyes and they'll literally be like, did you feel that? I'm like, yeah, I always feel that.
I took us there,
Yeah.
babe. I have the map.
So it's something I've learned, of course, throughout the years, being able to pull somebody into that. But even when I'm
High level work.
yeah, well, even when I'm pleasuring myself, I always all I want to do is go to there. Like I just want to get out of here because I don't drink anymore.
Right.
So I'm like, I just need to get out of here and up here.
Yeah.
And I'm able to get there. And then I'm in that little thing. So I'm like, I could take you to this little area.
Yeah. And you're accessing that through your body.
Yes. And it's the only way I can. I have to be physical with somebody. Like I feel like I'm not very good with words with men, or like maybe I might not show things very well.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I'm in bed with you, you'll be like, holy fuck, this bitch loves me. Like I'm not just like laying there like I did my daily duty. Like get off me. Like I'm literally like
so present, so focused.
Fucking love you, motherfucker. Feel this? You feel this?
And actually, random side note, our genitals. So there's reflexology. There's like foot reflexology. There's ear reflexology. There's like I think they call it iris reflexology. Belly, like basically all these different access points on our hands, feet, belly, eyes. They all correlate with the different organs in our bodies. And there's something similar with the genitals as well. And the cervix and the head of the cock are both, the corresponding points are the heart. So when in lovemaking, when these two come together, it's really like the heart points of the reflexology and the genitals are making love, which is kind of cute. And fun.
I love that.
So something sweet.
Whew. Okay, so us talking about disconnection and women, and we talked about religion, their upbringing, and traumas. Yeah. What do you think the real world consequences could be from a world of women just staying disconnected?
Oh wow! I mean, massive. We're kind of living it a little bit.
We're in that. We're in it today.
We're living it today. There's also a lot of amnesia. I mean, of course we have amnesia to be so disconnected from these ancient womb healing practices, and all the things that I speak about is nothing new. Women carried this wisdom. Midwives carried this wisdom. Women who worked the land. And, through all the different, layers and things of time, like they were burned, they were killed, they were, medicated, called hysterical, controlled, caged, all the things. But all of this stuff women's medicine belongs to women and has been a part of women's matriarchal, lineage and power for all of time. And especially, here in America and in our Western paradigm world, we're especially like all twisted up about it.
Yes. I feel going on that real quick is I feel like the government, right? Or this whatever secret society has been around since, before Christ, and then Christ came, and there's Bibles, there's chapters and books of the Bible that were never put in, that were written by Mary Magdalene, by, Mary, his mom, that were never put into it because the men didn't want a woman to have a say so. Right. So my personal intake just on, the third eye and, like you said, DNA awakenings and everything is, these men want to quiet the women, the power of us and our magic of nope. Don't have pleasure. Again, like the Catholics, don't touch yourself. You're going to go to hell. Yeah. Like there was put so much fear into women to make them dumbified, right? Just submit and stay there versus the wild woman, the alive woman, the playful woman that is going to speak up and start wars.
Yeah.
Between kings fighting for her and her womb.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't be able to operate in the way that we do or have what we have. So much of it is just around extraction, when you're extracting from the land and from the earth, and when you're extracting from the womb, you can only buy so much time before, nature's going to come back into balance. Like you can't beat nature in that way. But we do quite a lot to try and control and suppress the womb, like, birth control and even just the whole, I mean, you really see the epidemic of like how birth goes in America is so, there's so much there.
I just heard about that the other day.
It's so huge.
Like, I had no idea, like, just how harsh and cruel the doctors make the whole setting so cold.
I mean, the whole setting's so cold. I mean, even just birthing in hospitals really doesn't make sense based off of our physiological needs, like to feel safe, to feel comfortable. I mean, essentially, the same place where you are making love should be the place where you're giving birth.
I just need an anesthesiologist in there.
Yeah, get it.
Can we?
Yes, of course.
Oh, I did do that. I said I would love to have a home birth, but I just need an anesthesiologist.
Yeah, I think that every woman gets to decide what that looks like and have the support in place that she wants and needs. And of course, we need more integration of postpartum support. I'm super passionate about postpartum care because each woman's gonna, have her unique birth journey. But being able to have a wise woman there who can massage your uterus and womb, help her come back to place, make sure you've got, someone cooking for you so you have the proper nutrition and just also emotional attunement and presence.
Yes. Yeah, because I definitely feel Western American men are just like, just get over it.
Yeah, no, literally. Like 6-week checkup, like, cool, you can fuck again. Like, it's like, okay, for some people, they want to have sex so soon, and some people need more time. But yeah, when we have things like Yoni steaming, it's such a simple, easy practice, and it's proven.
What is Yoni steaming?
Yoni steaming is essentially it's a old school traditional practice. You'll find it in pretty much every culture around the world. Ooh. Thailand, Korea, Mexico. Like there's very few places you go where it's not, a part of women's health. And essentially you're just boiling some water. You're utilizing a few different kinds of herbs. So different herbs have different medicinal properties. And, some help to lengthen the cycle if your cycle is short. Some help to shorten it. Some help if you are having like infections, and some help if you're going through menopause. And you use these herbs, you boil it, and then you essentially take this pot, you put it, the steaming water in a bowl, and you put it on the ground, and you crouch over it in like a raised child's pose. Put a blanket over your body so you're kind of like in a little bit of almost like a little sweat lodge for your pussy. And then you're just steaming. So it kind of like when you go get a facial and you get steam on your face and it just feels amazing and it makes you glow and you feel radiant and it's relaxing. Similar, but for your pussy. And it's literally so simple. You're just boiling water and herbs. Even if you don't have herbs, you can just do a little bit of salt, water, and the steam itself brings blood flow and circulation to your pelvis, which we need to have abundant, thriving pelvic health.
Oh, okay. I'm ready to Yoni.
Yeah.
I've never Yoni. I'm upset now that I haven't Yoni.
Well, I'm going to give one to you in just like a day or two.
I'm excited. So in 2 days, I have a session booked with her. Right? And how many hours is that about?
I'm going to probably keep you for like a good, up to 6 hours. Okay. We'll see. What maybe shorter depending on your schedule. But
okay. Well, we will record it. Okay. Hey. I would love to record it, and then we'll share it. We'll put some clips up, some reels, and show the magic. And then I'll give a testimony what's going through, what's coming up for me, what breakthroughs I have. I really want to encourage you ladies with this womb healing, because playfulness, joy, laughter, sense of humor, your life really comes from your womb, and your vagina is part of the womb. Yes. And so many women they hate it. It looks weird. It's ugly. It smells like there's just so much, I feel like, taboo around it versus like getting to learn to love it, to be in relations with it. So I'm going to share the journey with you guys so I can welcome you guys into honoring your queen.
Yeah.
You know, honoring her, loving her, admiring her, like, you know, literally being like, I have the most beautiful pussy in the world. Whether, you know, whether it's aesthetically might be ugly, but it's the energy that you're giving it. It's the love of it. You know, I just know a lot of girls are like, it's so ugly.
Yeah. And I mean, I always push back on that, of course.
Yeah.
Like I would, you know, I think that we're, you know, indoctrinated that pussy's supposed to look one way. And this is why I love going to like a Korean spa, because you just see a bunch of women, naked bodies.
Yes.
And I feel like every time I see women, I'm always just like, women are gorgeous. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I can get, well, one, I've also been gay, and I'm also like, I get why men love women. Like, they're all just like really impressive. Like, even if it's not something my taste or style, like, there's just, all pussy is so beautiful because she's so unique.
Yeah.
And
no, like there's no two pussies the same.
there's no two pussies the same.
Yeah.
And also the more that you literally massage and work with your own pussy, with your vulva and your inner lips, and you I mean, I'm at least 8 years since being initiated into this path of doing this womb healing work, and my own root and pussy has changed so much over time. And just, the more tension I release in my pelvis, it actually allows more of her to soften and relax and come down, which is very interesting. But yeah, all pussy's gorgeous.
So if we have so if somebody has a really tight pussy, does that mean she's tight?
Yeah. Most people, you know how we say like, oh, do Kegels so you can strengthen.
Yeah.
Kegels are like the opposite of what most women need.
Oh shit! No, because I hear that a lot.
We're all told
but
it.
it also kind of makes sense because I'm also very like, ugh.
Yeah,
I can be, you know.
Most women are like super hypertonic in their pelvis and root, like either
you know what? And I have another friend of mine, who she's a film star. But she's a little girl. She's like 4'9". So you mean pelvic wise, I think she's just small too.
Yeah.
But yeah, same thing too. Every time people see with her, they're like, it's so tight. But she's also very. So I was like, oh, now I'm like starting to think of all the women I know. Like, a representation emotionally. That sounds interesting. Oh.
Yeah, a lot of it for women is actually, we're so in this hyper masculine world. It's like how to soften. Softness creates more harmony, and harmony creates strength. So sometimes we think like, oh, I need to get stronger and tighter, but you actually, the more mobility that you have within your pelvis, there's so many muscles within the pelvis, and a lot of them are kind of like beautifully rounded and sling. I mean, you can look up pelvic anatomy, pelvic floor anatomy, and you'd be amazed what is down there and how many muscles and ligaments. But if you're just tight, that means that she can't fully expand, and she also can't fully like come in and love deeply as well. So you lose a little bit of like range. So yeah, the softening is
I love
a part
that.
of it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of it flips things a little on its head, because you would think like, oh, well, I don't want to be loose down there. But
I think there's a difference between, because I was just taking it as when you said that, I was like, oh, just like a woman's always in the masculine, go, do. She's like, so I gotta go. So that just, because it's true, because I think when I finally do date someone or I'm in a long-term relationship, there's a, And maybe that's why I enjoy making love so much.
I was gonna say, this all goes back to that. I'm
very sexual, and because I'm able to do the opposite of the. And I'm just like,
absolute relief. Yes, you're like, this is what I came here for. All day.
Can't go again. Let's do it. Get it up. So it's like medicine. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's see. What else do we got here? Ooh, let's go. We hope. What? How long are we in? 59. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Ooh, this is a good one. Ready? Okay. What's the wildest or most powerful transformation you've witnessed in a woman after doing this kind of genital de-armoring work?
Wow, that's a beautiful question. I feel like I'm consistently humbled by what I witness. every session that I see, every woman is honestly so profound. And the real gift is continuing to cross paths with these women years down the line. Because I always tell you, the work that we do, like, it will serve you for decades. It just keeps unraveling. Like this little bit of work can go so many directions, and it continues to ripple in ways you would never expect. Just simply from being held and witnessed and being shown your own anatomy in like a safe, neutral, liberated, powerful, and empowered, embodied way. But actually, just this past weekend, I spent 4 days at this 4-day advanced genital de-armoring training here in LA with.
Ooh, that must have been incredible.
It was just so rich. Yeah, I'm very like relaxed in my
No,
body
you are.
right
No,
now.
I keep feeling her, and I'm like, okay, relax. Well, relax, dear. Breathe. She's just so
like,
and I'm like, relax.
Yeah.
Take your shoes up. Breathe. Yeah. It's not that serious. It's just a podcast.
I love it.
I just love your energy. It's literally like honey on my soul. I'm like,
Yes.
You're making my vagina go,
That's like my
Opening.
goal. Like if I could just be like the vagina whisperer that just makes all vaginas just become
Vagina
honey and
whisperer.
just that's like I'm living my purpose.
Yes, we're gonna call you. You need to put that in your
The
headline.
cervical. I got some wild name this weekend. We'll have to come back to it. But yeah, we did like this whole 4-day thing, and each woman has every woman's story is so profound and unique.
I love listening to people's stories.
Everything.
I love it. I love it. This week, my flight home from Dubai, 16 hours. I watched 8 movies.
Oh my God.
6 of them were all autobiographies. And I was just moved. I was so moved. Like I cried on each and every one of them. And I just really witnessed everyone has a story. Like you can't judge it. Like every rock star that I was like, I don't even like this person, but I was like, it's an autobiography. Let me just watch it. I was out of movies to watch. Life changing. And I thought, wow, like how much in life period, we're just judging people. And you have no idea what the hell they went through at 3 years old, 7 years old, 9. I mean, just the horrific things that people don't ever speak about. It's just, wow.
Yeah, and here they are. Really just like, wow, it's honestly, it's like bow of respect. Like I see you. Like it's an honor to get to be with people in their path.
I think it's beautiful for people to share it.
It is.
Because not a lot of people share it or are willing to even go there.
Yeah. I definitely find in the work that I do, it's not uncommon for me to be like one of the first people someone shares some of these like deepest, darkest, most hidden secrets about their body, about their past, and how it's like impacted them. We have so few places to process our sexuality. I mean, I feel like it's so incredible that you do the work that you do. You speak the way that you speak. You put so much love into your businesses, and these businesses are totally an expression and embodiment of love because it gets to connect with so many people. And there just needs to be, we just need more voices really to help people, feel the courage to show up and do the work for themselves so they can liberate themselves and be free. And the deepest wisdom is that your body knows. Your body always knows exactly what you need, and it just needs the right circumstances, maybe the right setting or person. If you can get yourself into some sort of thing where you can feel safe, your body will. The things that feel unimaginable to heal, your body already has the answers and knows how to heal it. And I think that's the most profound part of this work, is working with people who have such deep and really, at times quite heartbreaking stories and trauma and, paths that they've walked, and to hold them in a space of just knowing 100% that they are supported, that they're connected, that their body knows exactly what to do. And when you touch someone from a place of a high level of consent and love and complete devotion and presence, it opens up the pathways. And it opens up the pathways. I mean, I was working with a woman just this weekend who had a hysterectomy. That was a very complicated thing. It was years ago. She still has grief around it. And just through simply holding some of the deeper abdominal points in the pelvis and the womb, her body was shaking and quivering and releasing all this deep trauma. And she was, from the outside, it looked like, you might look at that and think like, oh, is she okay? That looks scary.
It looks disarming.
It looks a little like, you're like, it's a lot, like maybe I should stop, right? But the whole time she's feeling some of the deepest pleasure. She's like pleasure and bliss, and just so it's the womb space getting to express its truth. And it's just a testament to like, nobody needs to be saved, and just give people the right environment to entrust their bodies. You know, the more we can trust our bodies, I mean, that will just be the thing that I will continue to preach. Like.
Ooh. Choo. Okay, that was a good one. Let's go to.
That you kicked your shoes off.
I did. I want to be like her.
I was like, dang, I should have bought heels.
Okay, so to close to do like pull this all in together. For the woman who cannot work with you in person, what is one simple daily practice she can do today to start reconnecting with her womb, her magic, her juju?
Yeah, that's a really beautiful question. I feel like, of course, if you can find, locate, work with, and afford working with a, high-level practitioner, it's incredible. It can, connect you and take you some places. But it's also not always possible and realistic. There's, we need 1,000 million more practitioners. So if you feel called on the path, follow
Join
the
it.
path.
Yes.
We need more people in the field. But it's just, even if you work with someone, you still have to do the work yourself. And no avoiding that part. But the thing that I would tell to any woman who's out there, no matter what relationship dynamic she's in, no matter where she's at in her life, whether she's fulfilled or unfulfilled, the best place to start, the easiest place to start is to take your hands, place your hands on your own body, and really begin to like deepen and develop a practice of touch. And a lot of this is, like awakening the sensory receptors in your hand. So you're not just touching like, oh, it's another to-do list thing, or, okay, I touched and
Like a task.
It's not a task. And it's not like, okay, I did it, but what does it mean? Like really open up your, really go within. So it's like, I like to lay in bed when I do this, or if I'm in the shower. I mean, I really move through the world like this is my body and I have a right to touch it, and I will. So I touch myself pretty much everywhere, and I don't feel ashamed of it, because why would I? But I think, like in bed is a really sweet place, and you can just get a little bit of oil and really feel into your tissue and begin to massage and move. You don't have to be an expert to know how to heal your body and connect with it. I think a lot of this is actually calling in your higher self, calling in your elder, your future self, calling in your wise woman, and allowing her to guide your hands, asking her to guide your hands through touch. So you're working your belly, you work your vulva, and just create this consistent practice of massaging your genitals, massaging your belly, massaging your breast, and you can find points of tension and apply deeper pressure there. You can stretch the tissue. But that's like, even just on an even more basic, simple level, if that even feels too heady, you can literally just take a cupped hand, place a cupped hand over your vulva, and you would just hold over your vulva and breathe and just do some breathing exercises and really allow your pussy to fill your hand and allow your hand to feel your pussy and just do breathing work there. And over time, you'll start to feel like your breath reaching down through your root into your hand. And yeah, that's, I mean,
Ooh, I love that. I feel like that's a beautiful stage to begin because it's like just introducing yourself to her for the
Yeah.
first time.
like, hello.
Hi, like
Hi.
I see you, right? Just a little over your vagina, like, oh, you're there. Even like that's just such a protective feeling, right? Like
Yeah.
over you're cupping it. It's like you're protected.
Yep.
You're safe.
Yep.
I see you. I'm sending you love.
Yes. It's a
Wake
little
the fuck
hug.
up, bitch.
It's a little hug. I know. You're like,
I know. I'm like, okay, just rub it a little bit. Rub it a little bit more. All right, just go all the way.
I mean, I even like to do that after lovemaking too. Like have your partner like also finish with like a cupping hold over your vulva. That can be really sweet. It's just so
That
like
is so sweet.
like we love like hugs. Well, not everyone, but like I'm
Yeah.
not, for most women, it's so non-invasive. It's so
Yeah.
gentle. It's so it feels like containment. And when we feel like our needs aren't met or we feel like exposed or have been exposed, that containment, like you could have sex, you could go down that direction, but you could just do that and it feeds something so deep. So I like that practice.
Yeah, I feel like it's like honoring it.
It is honoring
Like,
it.
thank you.
Yeah, bless you.
Yeah. Men, if you're watching this after your next lovemaking with your partner,
Before and after.
yeah, just put your hand cupped over it, gentle, and just like say thank you. Thank you for allowing me in. Thank you for the pleasure. Like honor it.
Bless her, pray for her.
Yeah. Like men, it doesn't have to be so shh, go get the wash rag and clean me up.
Yeah. Look it up.
So
Just
that's
kidding.
I bet you a lot of men have never even heard of that. And most men are probably going to be watching this on my YouTube.
Hey. Well, now you know.
Okay. So we're going to wrap it up with that. How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, beautiful. So I have my Instagram. That is pretty much, one of the top places to find me right now. Tiffany Womb Healing. Working on building a website, all the things. It'll all come, divine timing, trusting. But yeah, I have my Instagram, and that's really the primary place where I'm sharing. And
so
then,
it's going to be on the page right here.
Yep.
She's speaking.
Perfect. Yeah, Tiffany Womb Healing. From there, I'll be, creating some Substack articles, and I have like a little flow desk, and I do virtual like one-on-one work with people. Oftentimes, I'm invited to, facilitate like experiential, like sensual sort of events at like retreats. And of course, I do work in person in Austin, Texas, but I also travel.
I moved it. Sorry.
Yeah. Good. Yay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If there's one takeaway that you want to give, a takeaway, just to sum everything up from today that you would like, the magic that came to you today, what do you want them to hear about womb healing?
Yeah. I think my biggest takeaway for women and maybe their male partners, but especially for women on the womb healing journey, is to I just really encourage women to follow your truth and honor your process. Honor your process every stage, every step of your process, and don't worry about the time that it takes. for you to heal, or for you to rediscover your pleasure, or for you to not have to feel pain, in intimacy or in your body. My viewpoint on a lot of this work is that it's accumulative. So if you just do little teeny things every day, you just honor yourself, you listen to yourself, you learn more about your boundaries, you oil your body, you hold your womb, you do a little Yoni steam. It doesn't feel like you're doing a lot in the moment. It can feel very small, and we want quick fixes in our society. We want something faster and quicker and immediate. But your devotion to your womb and your pussy will take you further than I think most anything in this world. And your pussy will never lead you astray. If you honor her and you devote your whole life to her, and to really, no matter where that takes you, you will go on the most magical path, I think, that exists. Like, your womb knows the way. Something.
I love it. Woo. Okay, so welcome to another divine download for Sacred Soul Talk with Tiffany, where we don't just talk healing, we become it. Today's guest isn't just, oh, no, that's not the outro. Hold on. Rewind. Okay. Woo. If your soul feels like it's just been kissed, cracked, and called home, you're welcome. This wasn't just a podcast episode. This was a ritual. This was remembrance. This was a divine interruption to every lie you were ever told about your body, your worth, and your womb. And if something stirred in you today, a memory, a pain, a power you thought was gone, then baby, it wasn't gone. It was just waiting for your permission to rise. So here's your invitation. Let this be the moment you stop outsourcing your power. Let this be the day you stop being a good girl for a system that's allergic to your sacred rage and holy pleasure. Let this be the breath where you come home to the body that's been patiently holding the blueprint to your becoming. Because you were never too much, darling, and you were never broken. You were never meant to heal in silence. Now go out there, bleed bold, breathe deep, and bless the fucking world with the woman you were always born to be. And DM Tiffany to start your motherfucking journey. Woo! I love you. Thank you for being here. Just up chills coming out of my freaking system. Woo!
So gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be doing a womb healing with her in 2 days. And I'm going to have it recorded, and we're going to make some good content for you guys to share the magic and the juju. I want you ladies, this embodiment, you have to meet her in person. She's honey to your soul. And that to my married women who are just frumpy, vanilla, and stiff. You need to work with Tiffany.
We'll get you wet.
Yes. I love you. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And if you heard anything that you think maybe your mom needed to hear, your, bitter bitch best friend, anybody that's super vanilla, you just like, damn, or just secretly like DM it to somebody that pull the stick out of their ass. We'd appreciate the forward. We love you. Until next week, have an amazing week. Toodles, doodles.